Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right, we just watched a movie called The Promised Land with that guy everyone likes, Mads Mikkelsen. Everyone likes him as an actor. I like him too. I think he's a good actor.
Normally plays the bad guy.
Normally plays. He has a subtle tone that he can play. It seems like, which is happens to line up with movies, the type of pacing and shit that I like. And this doesn't completely, go away from that idea of a slow pacing movie. It's definitely a slow pacing movie, and they build up tension and all that shit. And so I give them credit for that. But there were some disappointing things for me, personally, as a film viewer, and what I like in movies.
Well, I thought it was great, except for they cut her hair at the end.
Okay. Well, I think the villain, whatever his name is, what's his name in the movie? I want to call him Cuntington, but that won't work.
I don't know.
Oh, Frederick.
Looked like one of the Backstreet Boys.
His name's Frederick. Is that guy the landowner who's like, he was like over the top for me. Like, you're too much of a villain, bro. Stop it. In my opinion.
He was throwing a party and decided to kill someone with boiling water.
Yeah, he said, like, for the girls, for the beautiful girls. Like, who? I assume he means the little kids he like shoot off or that someone else shoot off near the end of that whole boiling man alive thing. They're like, oh, girls, go back to your rooms. Like one of his assistants was doing that. It's like, was it for them? Clearly,
Dude, for the
out of
ladies, you know what the ladies want to see? You murder somebody.
So yeah, he was power tripping the entire movie, and it was just like, maybe that's the payoff for that character. I think you could do better with like a quote unquote villain type of character than just give us like, he sucks. Okay, now watch him die horribly. Like, I want more than that, which is what they did, right? They built him up as an asshole, and then they murder him horribly. It's Joffrey without the arc of Joffrey, if that makes sense.
Oh, and he never got the promised woman.
No. Well, who got her? Did anyone?
Nobody.
Okay.
No, she just.
Oh, what happens to her? What happens to her?
When she opens the door for Anna Barbara, she's just off camera from then on.
Oh, we never see her again? Oh, word.
Yeah.
True. I mean, she poisoned him first, right? So that was her last licks, right? She got her last licks in, poisoned this motherfucker, Frederick. All right, and then the other girl, I guess, castrated, like tortured him to death.
Girl power.
I guess so. I mean, did that girl get in trouble? We don't know. Who cares? Maybe she's
because
get her in trouble.
you know what women were known for in the 1760s, right? Murdering men.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The point is, whether it's true to the time period or not means nothing to me. It's all about the storytelling part, and that didn't work.
Are you triggered? Are you triggered?
Yeah, I'm a little triggered, man. But either way, it didn't work for me. It didn't work in the movie sense of it. Did not work. Yeah, I think the beginning half of the movie I thought was fucking awesome, and then shit starts rolling downhill, man. That's where I'm at with this movie.
You know what made it for me? When he tossed the maid out the window. You like missed a fucking spot.
Like, hey man, I brought up Braveheart, right? There's some Braveheart things in there. Remember when the the dude, the gay lover of the son of the king, the gay lover of the
What?
prince in Braveheart.
Okay.
Where oh, tell me all about these military plans, huh? Yeah, keep going, and he throws him out the fucking window. It's like a little bit remind me of that too, but that's whatever. Do you remember that scene? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was mentioning Braveheart relatively early in the movie, and I'm just like that, like it reminds me of that type of shit too. But that's whatever. It's not a direct correlation or whatever. Jeez, I wish I took notes because of there's particular points in this movie where I just started getting disappointed, man. And then you can hear me mocking the movie as I'm watching it.
Oh, and
This
during
is
the
so
movie,
important.
we looked up where the Jute Land is. There's no happy endings because you're in the Jute Land. It's like some of the coldest places in Denmark, and it's fucking Denmark. Everywhere's cold in Denmark.
Okay. Well,
Like
I'm looking for realism,
it's
bro.
its
It's a
own
movie.
punishment.
It's a
Well, I
movie. I'm
am.
not looking for the
I
realism
am.
of it.
It's based on some true shit. I'm guessing if they went with that, they put the dates up and shit. 1763.
If this is based on a true story, I say fuck it and make it your own anyways.
Mm.
I think for me personally, like fuck it and make up your own shit. This is not me saying
I
I
think they're
dislike the movie. I thought it was a good movie. It was enjoyable, but man, they hit a roadblock somewhere where I'm just like, okay, all right, is it over yet? Okay, just explain away, like stitch up your ending, right, to where you explain what happens to the characters, and then we'll move on. And that's what they
you
did,
know
right?
if he didn't build the house first and just lived in a teepee the whole time, he would have had more money, and he would have maybe had two goats.
That's one of the things I brought up, right?
The house wasn't necessary.
The house wasn't shut up
It wasn't.
with the winters they have that they're showing us. Yeah, they needed a fucking shelter
Teepee,
with warmth.
shelter, fire.
Except for Anne Barbara, she didn't need. She just wanted dick. It's like, oh, I can't stay warm. I must sleep in your bed. Literally a second and a half later, my husband's gone. I know you love that girl,
You're,
but whatever. Let's fuck. And then they go for it, and it happens. Which is
but see that was just them saying that we knew they were in love.
in love. Where? No. It was me and you guessing in the beginning of the movie, like making like, oh, well, that's the girl he's gonna fall in love with, or that he's gonna be sleeping with. So thus the husband has to die. But the way they did it
Right.
was even like kind of grosser and weirder than at least the way I figured it would be.
What are you talking about? That was the cleanest kill ever. Boiling water
Yeah.
is clean kill because you get rid of all the bacteria as you're killing him.
But her approach to him wasn't love, right? Which is what we would have figured. Like, oh, you kill the husband, and then she ends up falling in love with him, which does happen, but that's not the initial
That was the most
expression of the
romantic
other.
thing I can imagine for a 1760s man.
She faked being cold. She's like, I need to be in your bed.
And then just Hobbs on his dick. Man, that turned anybody on.
She's like, oops, I'm grabbing your dick now. Oops, it's in my pussy now. Oops,
Oh,
we're having
dude.
sex now.
That's the dream. A girl just knows you want to fuck her.
And the character had put no resistance to it. He's like, all right,
He's
whatever.
the strong, silent type. He doesn't have to say nothing. She just knows.
Like we were making references to like Robin Hood, Braveheart, all these fucking like kind of epic type of movies. And they're like, you know what? Fuck that. This movie said fuck that shit. Which is like, I'm okay with it, but you better wrap it up tight. Pause.
No, this movie's got its own fucking thing. is better. It's equal to Batman and Braveheart. It's Juteland.
Stop it. It's not a bad movie. I will not try to like leave that impression that it's a bad movie. It's just disappointing the way the whole second half of it.
Nah, I liked it. But I'm gonna have to deduct points for cutting the girl's hair at the end.
Okay. See, I was into it for shallow reasons. Whoever's hearing this part, it's shallow reasons why I'm saying this. But for me,
Who?
you.
That's not shallow. You cut a woman's hair, it makes her a lesbian.
Exactly. Shallow reasons.
It's not shallow. It's defining.
Yeah, shallow reasons. Anyways, like I said, not the worst movie. I wish I took notes so I can point out particular fucking scenes and shit. I just have a shit memory. But I remember how I feel about it. And there's just certain things that didn't make sense. Him shooing away the young girl, and they were like the colonists were like, oh, she's cursed.
How do you find her? That's the real question. I told you it was going to be magic there.
Well, I don't know how he found her. And sure,
Because-
that's like a nitpick compared to.
But I told you it was going to be magic. How he
Yeah.
found her.
Look, it was. Remember, you have the evil overlord of the territory, right? The Frederick guy, right? But he wasn't the one who asked for that little girl to leave. It was the colonist that he had there, right?
Yeah.
So when Frederick dies, all of a sudden he's like, you know what? Come back, little girl. Come back to us. Meanwhile, it was like the colonists were like, if she's here, we ain't working here.
No, they already were forced out when he got arrested.
No.
The main character was arrested, and there were soldiers around, and he killed the judge or whatever.
No, because that was like that was the beginning of the people splitting that land up. Right?
Right.
But
The 10
once
the
Fuckface
10
hold on, but what oh no, hold on. Because once Frederick dies, aka Fuckface, once he dies, it's like it all goes away almost. The way they made it seem.
No. But the colonists all dispersed anyway whenever they arrest. Like at the end, it said all the colonists have left.
Okay.
After Anna Barbara cuts his dick off, that guy comes down and talks to him and says, all the colonists are gone. You can go back to your land, but she's going to prison for the rest of her life.
Okay. That makes it look worse. Because
Okay.
then he shows up to the little girl saying, I should have never let you go. Come back to us. Meanwhile, it's like, well, are you saying that because you mean it or because the colonists
You're
are gone
a woman.
anyways? Well, no, the colonists are gone anyway, so that was the only reason why he's sending the girl away in the first place. So it ends up looking stupid. Like, it's not like a
But
heartwarming thing. It's just,
but
the colonists are
you
gone,
saw
so now I
that
can bring you back.
you saw that deal that followed that ending, and they said 400 colonists are now going to come here
Yes.
instead of the 50 that we just sent away, minus the 2 that were killed. So
Yeah.
48 were forced away, but the king sent him $2,000 a year contract and just keep providing me so many potatoes. I'll send you 400 colonists.
While
To
the
do
little
all
girl
this.
grew up there, right?
Right.
Which means it
Well,
was
no. She grew up in between the time of all the colonists are gone. Santa Barbara was locked up. She grew up. He kept producing, and they came back and said, "Okay, here's $2,000 a year,
No, but
And-
no, it doesn't make sense.
and here's 400 colonists now."
That doesn't make sense because
But that's what happened.
no, but when Frederick dies, they made it seem like okay, that's it. Like, oh, okay, we didn't hate you that much anyways. We'll work with you. Like the dudes that were making a deal with
Oh,
Frederick, right?
Well, a lot of that doesn't make sense because 10 of them are on that deal because Frederick got a tenth of the deal of splitting up
Yes.
the main character's land.
Yes.
But the ladies kill Frederick. Well, there's still 9 other guys that are making this claim.
Yeah, but they seem to be like okay with it. Even one of his handlers, even one of Frederick's like assistants was like, yeah, whatever. Right? When they saw they took Anne Barbara away, right? And he's just like looking at the body like, well, all right. Like he was like, because he was advising him the whole movie, like going against everything this guy was saying, the Frederick guy was saying. He seemed okay with him dying, and then just like,
Yeah,
okay,
he
we'll do
thought he
things
was a
this way.
piece of shit.
Exactly.
But he
That's
was
what I'm saying.
subject to him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're all like okay with.
It didn't
Frederick
show
died.
the other 9 landowners again.
Yeah, they didn't.
So we don't know why that just dropped it and he was free to go.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, that night,
that's a big problem. Yes.
that night, right? Because he has like they were about to boil him again, right? They were about to boil this motherfucker.
Right.
So he gets to lead. They give him a horse. He hops on the horse. He's like bloody and shit from getting whipped or whatever. And they're like, "Go ahead, get out of here." Which means they were like kind of on his side. That's what I'm saying. It's like implied that they're.
Well,
on
we
his
don't
side.
know. We have absolutely no clue what the other 9 landowners did because it. What I'm guessing on why did they let him go? Why does that negate the deal? Why does the other guys that are hands of the king basically that signed over the deal to those 9 that are still alive?
Yeah.
Why does that change? A
No one
lot
knows.
of that crap was left out.
No one fucking knows. It's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
The second half, or just the last third of the movie, like to me, just like I don't know, trying to clean cut.
Maybe
end
they-
it. I don't know.
Maybe it was just too much for it's already a 2-hour movie. They couldn't put in another 10 minutes to make like a court case instead or something.
I think they could have. Come on, because he's caught by them, right? They're about to kill him. This woman
Right.
who's clearly been with him the whole time, right? This chick, Anne Barbara, is with Ludwig, whatever the fuck his name is, Mads Mikkelsen. She's with him the entire time, right? Right? Do people even know that he's with the cousin of this dude? That he's like the Frederick dude's like begging to marry, but she's like no, right? They have to realize that
Okay.
Mads Mikkelsen's like kind of with her too. So these are the last 2 motherfuckers to see this dude alive, bro. And then obviously you get to see the point of view of where she poisons him, and then the Anna Barbara chick walks in, and fucking cuts his dick off and stabs him and kills him. All right. So why is that an automatic like? All right, you're free to go. It was all Frederick apparently. It was all of it was Frederick.
See, I could start guessing for you. It may be like the king's men, since they didn't want the king to know any of this was actually happening. Just magically, there's potatoes now coming from the jute land. They were like, y'all have made this shit a fucking wreck. So just let him go. Fuck this. That would be the only logical guess I could make. And it's totally a guess because it was all off camera shit.
Well, they let him go right back into where he was anyways, which is like
Right.
you're like the owner of the land type of thing, and you're running this shit. That's where it's like prison to go back and run that shit. Even though we have 9 other investors, right, who each own like a tenth of that.
Right.
Of that
So
piece of
that's 90% owned.
Yeah.
And then they would just probate the other 10% or however they did it back then in that country.
land. I don't know. Do they shut up and just let Mads Mikkelsen run it? Like, yeah, we'll just shut up and let you run it. The guy who figured out how to get any type of like growth happening there as far as agriculture. Right? Did they just shut up and like, all right, do your thing? Were
him
they like
getting-
that the whole time? It seems like they were like that the whole time because they just let him out of prison like immediately.
But the 2000 a year thing, that deal makes it seem like they were just out of the deal. It was no longer their land at all,
I don't know.
unless that's 10%.
Like some loyalists or something, where they're like, I'm gonna go to the Crown and tell them exactly what happened, or that you own the land. We'll go to the Crown and tell them like some crazy woman killed this dude, so thus this land is yours straight up, which also wasn't in the movie, right?
Right.
Of explaining like what happened, like why does he have like kind of ownership of that territory?
This
I guess
this was
because of
just
Grusha.
this was just poorly done, especially at that moment.
I think the first half to 2/3 of it, I thought were fucking awesome and fun for me. That they're enjoyable, but something fell off at a certain point. Man,
Yeah,
I wish I.
it was. They were like, "We got 2 hours and 7 minutes already.
All
We
right.
gonna put 10 more minutes in this? Really?"
Speaking of which, me personally, fuck man, I really liked the beginning, man. I thought it was interesting.
I liked
and
it.
it kept me guessing, and there was interesting character developments that were happening. Also some lackluster ones that were also happening in the beginning. But man, overall, it's 7.6 for me. 7.6, 7.7, that territory for me. Above average for sure, but man, if they ended it the way, not the way I wanted, but in a way that's like, to me, well made. In my opinion, of well made. If they did that, I think I would give them a
I
higher grade.
want to give this like an 8.2, but because of that ending and cutting her hair, I'm giving it a 7.8.
Because her hair was cut. Shut up.
2 points for the hair, 2 points for the or 2/10 of, or what is it? 0.2 and 0.2.
Yes, those are tense. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. For the not explaining what the fuck happened with that deal of the other 9 landowners
I mean,
and the haircut of the girl.
didn't this girl poison him? Sorry to bring that up again. Didn't the girl poison him? The cousin?
The other girl did. Yeah.
So thus,
The cousin he was gonna marry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't clarify that. The cousin Frederick was gonna marry his cousin.
Yes. And
Or forcibly, like an arranged marriage.
yes, and she was gonna get she's one of those royal motherfuckers. Thus, if he dies from poison, they could blame anyone. They're not gonna blame her, right? She'll get away with it. Thus, why
No,
does
she's still royalty. When she walked off camera, she was still royalty.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one would blame her. No one would go after her.
Yeah.
Right? Thus, just poison him and be over with it. Instead, they had this chick roll up in there, start cutting his fucking dick off and shit, and
Stab him in
now,
the gut.
now she goes to prison. Apparently not forever. She gets out apparently. So it's like, I'm thinking of
She gets broke out.
no, kinda.
Yeah, when they're in transport, it looked like the guy was dead on the wagon that was driving it with the 6 or so girls in the back as prisoners, as slaves.
But they're also like implying that, well, the appeal didn't go through or something. Like they're implying shit like that. Also.
Right.
In my mind, when as soon as she cut his dick off, I'm like, oh, she's dead. Right? They're gonna I'm thinking some like 18th, 17th fucking century shit where they just like fucking hang them. Like, oh, you fucked up some highborn motherfucker, you're dead. That's it for you. But apparently not. Apparently they have like a judicial system. She'd be chilling, bro. She's got her hair shaved. She's good. Break her out of jail.
If you kill a royal member or a friend of the king, because that's what they said Frederick was in the early scenes, was Frederick was a friend of the king.
His family, yeah.
So
Or his family name, at the very least.
then you get a trial. You got to kill some royalty to get a trial.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I don't know. Ishtar just, I don't know. She's just out of jail now, apparently. They're horseback riding as we speak, apparently.
No, they were. Oh yeah, they were heading home, right?
I guess so. Guess it's all good, man. It's all good.
Be the fucking first potato farmer of the Jutland.
Okay, there you go. 7.6 or 7 for me, 7.8 for you.
Yeah.
Or well, an 8 for you. Because
No.
your little
8.2.
your little short hair argument doesn't fit, so
Yes, it does.
which means it's an 8 for you.
No,
Which for me would be overrated. I mean, that's
no,
too high of a
because
ranking.
when you cut her hair, that means she's done having sex with men. Why did he go get her if she's gonna not have sex with him?
That doesn't make sense, but let's move on.
It does, because who fucks short hair girls? That's gay.
Natalie Portman, you may now fuck off. Anyways,
She bald, dude. That was gross.
yeah, you're
She
the
could
gayest
grow
man
it back
alive.
though. She could grow it back though.
You're the gayest man alive. Anyways, there's our review of The Promised Land. Not a bad movie. Not the worst. I think could have been better based on what they built up, but that's just my twist and take on things.
All right, in this, so I can look at who called me triggered.
Okay, let's end this. The Promised Land. I recommend it. Go check it out.